Caitlin Clark stood at the center of a moment everyone thought would end in overtime. Caitlin Clark heard the noise, felt the pressure, and still chose a different ending. The clock was slipping away, but the story was not finished. A few seconds earlier, she had missed a look she usually makes. Minutes before that, defenders had crowded her space, daring her to pass.
How did this crowd, this moment, this environment meet your expectations today?
And long before this night, critics said she relied too much on distance shots when games became tight. But this moment was not about fear. It was about a decision. One move, one breath, one shot that changed the mood of the whole arena. Fans expected extra time. Teammates expected a final play. Opponents expected hesitation. What they saw instead was control. This was not luck. It was built from patience, confidence, and a refusal to wait for overtime. Stay with us, because the truth behind why Caitlin Clark said no to overtime will surprise you. The choice before the buzzer. Caitlin Clark knew the clock better than anyone on the floor. Caitlin Clark felt the pressure rising with every step she took. Caitlin Clark did not rush even when the crowd began to stand. Moments earlier, she had driven into traffic and forced a difficult pass. The defense had learned from that play. They spread wider, each player trying to anticipate her next move. But in doing so, they revealed tiny cracks in their formation. Most players facing that kind of defensive intensity would have slowed down, passed the ball, or waited for overtime. That is what fear makes people do. But Clark was not guided by fear.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT.
Just watching her passion in the game, the way she just plays with her team.
The arena itself seemed to shift around her. Sounds of sneakers scraping the court, faint shouts. The occasional whistle, all of it became background. Her eyes scanned the defense with a quiet focus. One defender leaned slightly left, exposing a corner of the paint. Another defender lagged in rotation, just half a second too late. Even the help defense hesitated, unsure who to cover first. These were not mistakes. They were opportunities waiting for someone bold enough to see them. Clark's hands felt the familiar weight of the ball. Her mind replayed hundreds of moments from the season. Missed shots that taught her patience, pressured situations that taught her poise, and hours spent alone perfecting every step, every dribble, every shot. It was all converging in this moment. The ball was not just a piece of leather, it was a key to the outcome of the game. And she held it with both care and determination. She remembered a game earlier that year, in a crowded gym with barely a basket to spare. She had hesitated, looked at the clock, and passed when she should have acted. The team had lost by a point. That memory lingered like a quiet voice reminding her that hesitation could cost everything. Tonight she would not hesitate. Tonight she would decide. The ball touched her hands with seconds left. The coach did not shout.
Iowa head coach Lisa Bluter had a front row seat for Clark's record-breaking career. Lisa knew Caitlin would be special.
There was no dramatic play drawn up. It was quiet, almost invisible. And yet in that stillness, every player, every fan, every defender felt the tension grow. The crowd expected a pause, expecting the game to extend into overtime. Opponents expected hesitation, a mistake, a chance to claim control. Clark expected none of that. Earlier in the season, critics had questioned her judgment. Some said she relied too much on long-range shots. Others said she made impulsive decisions in tight moments. Social media buzzed with debates. Fans argued over her choices, and even commentators hinted she might crack under pressure. But none of that mattered now. The past lived in her preparation. Her memory held hundreds of hours in dimly lit gyms, late-night practices, and drills repeated until her muscles and mind moved in sync. That memory was stronger than doubt. The choice before her was not simple. It was not just shoot or pass. It was far more profound. Trust fear, or trust the work she had built over the years. That trust was invisible, but it was palpable. It ran through her legs, her arms, her core, and straight to her mind. Clark did not flinch. She did not glance at the clock again. She simply saw the defender coming closer, arms wide, feet off balance, a tiny window of opportunity that could disappear in a heartbeat. Her body reacted before her mind whispered hesitation. Dribble, pivot, step forward. The crowd held its breath. Teammates froze in anticipation. Opponents lunged too late, moving on instinct rather than calculation. In that instant, time slowed. Not for the clock, but for everyone watching. Every second stretched into what felt like eternity. This was not bravery, it was readiness. Every drill, every practice shot, every past failure.
Practice team, and now we get to see the unseen footage of it, and here's her speaking about it as well.
Every repetition had prepared her for this exact second. It was the culmination of patience, focus, and understanding. Every player dreams of moments like this, the final play, the last shot, but not every player has the courage or discipline to truly own it. Clark did. She did not let the arena, the clock, or the pressure dictate the ending. She wrote it herself. Her decision was not born of luck. It was forged from experience. Years of learning when to pause, when to attack, when to trust herself. Every hesitation she had overcome, every mistake she had corrected, every lesson she had absorbed, all of it funneled into one simple, deliberate action. In the end, that choice defined more than the game. It defined her as a player who could stand alone in the most intense moment, see possibilities where others saw chaos, and act with clarity when the world expected hesitation. This was Caitlin Clark saying, without words, that she would not be controlled by fear, doubt, or expectation. She would control the moment, and in that control, she said no to overtime. She said yes to herself. She said yes to victory born not from chance, but from mastery. Pressure makes legends. Pressure does not always come with noise. Sometimes it comes with silence, the kind of silence where thousands of people stop breathing at once.
A sold-out crowd in Evanston tonight for the Northwestern women's basketball game against the Iowa Hawkeyes.
That was the feeling inside the arena before Caitlin Clark made her move. The crowd leaned forward in anticipation, their hearts sinking to the rhythm of the clock. Every eye in the stadium was locked on her, but Clark's focus was elsewhere. Earlier in the game, the scoreboard told a story of back-and-forth tension. Points were exchanged like chess moves. Each basket answered another. No lead felt safe. Somewhere in the second quarter, Clark missed a clean three-pointer. The defender guarding her smiled briefly as if to say, "Not tonight." But Clark did not pause. She kept moving, scanning the floor, watching every shift of the defense, learning from every small mistake. Pressure had followed her all season. Every road game seemed louder than the last. Opposing fans came not to see their team, but to see if she would crack. Double teams came early, traps waited near half court, and defenders shadowed her every move. Even off the ball, eyes remained glued to her jersey number, measuring her energy, predicting her next step. Some players crumble in moments like these. They retreat, hide, or let fear dictate their choice. Clark did the opposite. She leaned into the stress, treating it not as an enemy, but as a challenge. Every screen she ran became a test of patience. Every closeout she faced became an opportunity to learn. The game's pressure was not a weight, it was a mirror, showing her what she had earned through countless hours of preparation. Long before the final play, Clark had faced nights when nothing seemed to work. Shots hit the rim and bounced away. Defenders blocked her pass before she could even pivot. Critics questioned her decisions, saying she forced plays or relied too much on her shooting range. Social media buzzed with criticism. Those words traveled fast, but inside Clark, they faded quickly. What remained was routine. Early morning workouts, late-night shots in the empty gym, quiet focus, faith in her form. Pressure changes how time feels. Seconds stretch into eternity. The ball feels heavier and the court feels smaller. For some players, it becomes overwhelming. For Clark, it became a lens through which she could read the game more clearly. Her movement stayed smooth, never rushed, and never sloppy. Each step measured, each glance precise, each heartbeat steady. One play earlier, a teammate drove into the lane and drew two defenders. The pass came out late. Clark caught it, assessed the situation, and did not rush. That small decision showed patience, the kind that separates great players from good ones. She waited for the perfect window, the smallest opening. Every choice mattered.
If Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, Well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years.
And she understood which risks were worth taking. As the clock dipped under 10 seconds, the tension reached its peak. Fans held their breath, anticipating overtime. Coaches expected a conventional set play. Defenders expected hesitation. But Clark delivered none of that. She had learned from countless high-pressure moments that pressure does not demand perfection, it demands belief. Belief built from repetition, from trust, went from knowing that the work behind every shot would guide the outcome. Her eyes scanned the court one last time. A defender stood too upright. Another lagged just slightly behind. That micro gap was enough. Clark did not look at the clock again. She did not hesitate. Instinct took over. The ball left her hands with calm precision, not panic. Every step, every movement, every choice she had made in the past season funneled into that single moment. In that instant, the pressure did not control her. She controlled it. Legends are not born from easy games. They are forged in moments that feel too heavy for normal players. This was one of those moments. Fans would replay it for years. Analysts would dissect it endlessly.
The Caitlin Clark experience, Brad Brown shows us how it's become a signature moment for some lucky fans.
And young athletes would study it in awe. And why? Not simply because the shot went in, but because she wanted the shot. Because she believed in herself enough to claim it. After the ball left her hands, the arena waited. No cheers, no groans, just stillness. That pause seemed to stretch longer than the entire game. And then, when the net finally swished, the pressure transformed into sound. The arena erupted, but Clark remained steady. Her face showed neither surprise nor triumph, just focus and quiet confidence. This was not the first time Clark faced doubt, and it certainly would not be the last. But this moment revealed something deeper than skill. It revealed courage molded by discipline, calm shaped by prior failures, and trust cultivated through relentless work. Pressure, in this moment, did not destroy her. It revealed her greatness. A shot built on trust. Caitlin Clark had taken thousands of shots before this one. Caitlin Clark had missed hundreds too. Every success and every mistake shaped the moment she now faced, like threads weaving together a story she would write herself in the final seconds. Earlier in the season, she had spent endless hours in an empty gym, practicing the same shot over and over.
Clark worked with Iowa's gymnastics trainer.
Long range, off balance, under fatigue, she pushed herself to simulate every scenario she might face in a real game. She imagined defenders closing in, the clock ticking down, and the crowd's roar fading into background noise. None of it mattered then. What mattered was form, release, and timing. Every repetition drilled into her one simple truth: trust yourself, or doubt will take over. That night, the weight of the arena pressed down, but her trust carried her. And the defense tried to force her left, cutting off angles, pressing closer than usual. A taller defender loomed near the basket, ready to challenge her shot. Clark paused, not out of fear, but in calculation. Every micro movement she had learned over years of practice flashed through her mind. Feet perfectly balanced, knees bent just right, eyes locked on the rim, hands poised, shoulders square.
Recently, Clark has added 8 pounds of muscle, and her dedication to training is simply unmatched.
Her body knew the shot even before her brain told her to move. Moments earlier, a clear passing lane had appeared to a teammate, a simpler, safer option. Many players would have taken it to avoid blame, to avoid risk. But Clark had learned to embrace responsibility. That shot was not about ego. It was about reading the court, understanding the defense, and making the highest percentage choice she could in that moment. What every decision she had made in practice, in previous games, in high-pressure moments, built toward this instant. The seconds slipped lower on the clock. 5, 4, 3. The moment was fleeting. Clark shifted slightly, squared her body, and released the ball. Her motion was fluid, almost natural, as if decades of practice condensed into a single heartbeat. Nothing rushed, nothing forced, only trust. The arena seemed to hold its breath. Teammates froze, anticipating either disaster or brilliance. Opponents stiffened, trying to block out the inevitability of what might come. Fans' eyes followed the arc of the ball as if the entire season hung in that single curve. Some remember that second as a blur. For Clark, it was clarity. Every decision she had ever made, every shot, every pass, every dribble all converged into this precise moment. The critics who had doubted her earlier in the season were irrelevant now. Opinions on social media, whispers from commentators, and questions about whether the shot was too risky all faded into the background. What mattered was the confidence Clark had built through preparation. Confidence is not born from luck, but from discipline, practice, and belief in one's own skill. Every drop of sweat, every early morning workout, every late-night practice formed the foundation of that trust. When the ball hit the net cleanly, it was more than a basket, it was a statement. It signaled that preparation could overcome pressure, that trust could triumph over doubt, and that a player willing to embrace responsibility could define the game in a single instant. The shot did not just score points, it demonstrated courage, focus, and mastery. Clark had trusted herself when everyone else expected hesitation. Her belief turned the tension into opportunity and transformed what could have been chaos into victory. The opposing team's faces reflected disbelief. Teammates erupted in relief and joy. Fans screamed, some jumping to their feet, others frozen in awe. No one could attribute this moment to luck. Every movement, every thought, every second of preparation led to it. The shot was a product of hours of practice, countless failures, lessons learned under pressure, and confidence forged through repetition. That single arc of the basketball was proof that preparation meets opportunity only when trust guides the hand.
This is what Caitlin Clark does, folks.
The arena fell, silent. Caitlin Clark's eyes never left the rim. Caitlin Clark's teammates stopped moving for a moment. The entire arena seemed to hold its breath. Seconds earlier, fans had been screaming, jumping, and waving banners. Some were cheering, some were groaning at missed plays, and some were simply frozen in hope and fear. Every second counted. Every heartbeat felt louder than the last. Clark moved in that tension, but inside her mind she was calm. Moments before, a defender lunged, thinking Clark would panic. That gap was all she needed. And now, in this charged silence, she prepared for what had been built in practice. Earlier in the season, crowds had roared against her, testing her focus. Yet she learned something vital. The louder the noise, the clearer the decision. Every cheer or gasp was just background to her rhythm. Tonight, that rhythm guided her to this instant. The ball left her hands. Time seemed to slow. The net swished, but the sound came a heartbeat later. Fans exhaled together. Some screamed, some clutched their heads, and some froze entirely. Opponents' faces revealed disbelief they had prepared for overtime, for hesitation, for anything but that moment. Clark had decided the ending herself. In those fleeting seconds, the silence became louder than any cheer. It carried the weight of the game, the season, and Clark's years of preparation. She didn't just score points. She scored respect, understanding, and awe. Every person in that arena felt the gravity of what had just happened. Before this, the game had been a series of fast breaks, three-pointers, and contested shots. But this moment paused everything. They realized that what had unfolded was bigger than just a point on the board. It was proof of a player who could command pressure, defy expectation, and create a moment that everyone would remember. Why this moment still matters. Caitlin Clark did more than win a game that night. Caitlin Clark reminded everyone what determination looks like. Days after the match, analysts replayed the final seconds, highlighting her patience, reading of the defense, and flawless execution. Every missed shot earlier in the season, every defender she faced, and every crowded gym session came together in this one defining moment. It showed young players that preparation matters more than luck, and that confidence is built, not born. Long after the crowd left, the memory of that arena lingered. Coaches spoke about her decision-making. Teammates remembered the calm she carried in moments when fear could have frozen anyone else. Opponents admitted that she had forced them to rethink their defense in the last seconds. This was not just a highlight reel. It was a lesson in leadership, focus, and courage. It mattered because it proved that great players create their own endings. Caitlin Clark didn't wait for overtime. She wrote the story herself, and that story will be remembered for years. Caitlin Clark's final shot was more than points on the board, it was a statement. It showed that talent alone doesn't define greatness. Courage, preparation, and focus do. Every movement she made, every second she paused to read the defense, built toward that one decisive moment. Fans will talk about it for seasons. Young athletes will study it for inspiration, and opponents will remember it as a challenge they could never fully meet. Moments like these remind us why sports are more than games. They are life lessons. Caitlin Clark's refusal to settle for overtime reflects a mindset that turns pressure into opportunity. She didn't just make a shot, she made history, showing what happens when preparation meets belief. Preparation meets belief. Preparation meets belief.